Retirement. When you think of retirement, what comes to mind? For me, I think of being at our trailer where we back onto this beautiful, amazing creek. It's my happy place. When you think about retirement, what comes to mind? Freedom? Travel? More time for your family? Well, that's all part of it for sure. But what no one really prepares you for is the transformation that begins the day you step away from work. Retirement isn't just the end of a career, it's the beginning of something deeper, something that can be so rewarding. And sometimes it's not what you expected at all. I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. I produce a retirement lifestyle video every Saturday at noon. Now, for most people, the first few weeks of retirement just feels like a vacation. No more early alarm clocks, no more meetings, no more deadlines. You sleep in, you catch up on the TV shows, maybe even take a trip that you've been putting off. Then but then something changes, or at least for me it did. It seemed like there was no warning. One day I was like, "Woo, I get to sleep in." And the next day it was, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to fill my day today?" There was no more structure, there was no more routine, and the purpose that really defined me, and I have to say it did. I was shocked. Even if it didn't love your job, it's suddenly gone. You realize that no one needs you to show up anywhere at any time. No one's waiting for a report. No one's asking you to do anything. And so you start just questioning yourself by saying, who am I now? And that's a question that can hit you harder than expected. I remember the first time after I retired that someone new introduced, "Hi, my name is," and I said, "Hi, I'm Maureen Dobransky." And they say, "Oh, what do you do?" Uh, I didn't know what to say. I stumbled my way through it and I said something like, "Oh, I used to be a sales manager." But that's ridiculous. Why? I still question that. Why couldn't I say I'm retired? I don't know. Maybe I thought retirement was only for old, useless people, which is ridiculous. But I'm still not sure why I couldn't say I'm retired. But just be prepared for changes like that. Now, if you think about it though, and this is huge, retirement really is the first time, or it was for me, the first time in my adult life that I didn't have to be or do anything for anyone but myself. Woo! And that for me, again, was a little bit terrifying, but so freeing. Many of us start reflecting on the decades that we spent working. You know, we raised our kids, we built a life, the kids played hockey, we went fishing, but now what? It's like someone gave me a blank canvas with no instructions, with no paintbrushes, with no paint, and I didn't quite know what to do about it. And this is really the part that no one talks about. They all say, retirement is your golden years, go enjoy it. But all of a sudden, for me, I had an identity crisis. I had many, many moments of doubts. I missed, not my work, I missed the people that I used to be with. And I missed the person that I was. I was busy. I had a purpose. I was someone, which sounds really ridiculous. But stay with me though, because this isn't the end of the story. I think here for me was really where the transformation began. Because once I couldn't say I was this important person, once I didn't have the schedule, once I didn't have the hustle, I finally got to ask myself, what do I do now? And that's a big question. Not what does my boss want me to do? Not what do my kids need? Me. And hopefully you listen to yourself. You really, really listen to self, to yourself. I'm hoping that you'll discover a passion that you never had time for. You might enjoy something like the smallest ritual, a morning walk, an afternoon tea, a weekly lunch with a friend. You might enjoy and discover something a bit bigger, getting back in shape. Well, not me yet. Learning a new language or a trip you've always wanted to take. Or you still might find something even scarier and larger. Maybe you're going to write that book you've always thought about. Maybe you're going to teach that class, or maybe you just decide to live halfway around the world for a month or two. Ooh, you see, that's where we are in this stage of life. We're not winding down, we're unfolding the layers. This next quote, I guess, is probably one of the most powerful quotes I've heard. It says, we go from working for money to living for meaning. I love it. That's the key to your retirement, to go from working for money to living for meaning. You see, when we're working, most of us are driven, at least in part, by necessity. We have to pay the bills. We work to support our families. We work so we can pay for hockey. We work so we can someday retire. And whether we loved our jobs or just endured them, there was a clear reason to get up every morning. The paycheck. That paycheck gave us a sense of worth. It gave us security. It gave us identity. But when you retire, that paycheck stops and something unexpected happens. You realize that your time is no longer measured in dollars. There's no promotion to chase. There's no quarterly bonus. There's no performance review. Thank goodness. Instead, you begin asking yourself questions like, what makes me feel alive? What do I want to leave behind? How can I make these years count? What have I always wanted to do but didn't have time? And that's when the shift begins. We go from working for money to living for meaning. You stop asking yourself, how much is this worth? And you start asking yourself, is it worth my time? You stop filling your calendar with obligations and start filling it with things that fill your soul. So it doesn't always have to be something big. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic dream. Sometimes it's just found in the quiet joy of a morning routine, the peace of a sunset walk, or the joy of listening to your creak behind your trailer. When you let go of chasing money, you start chasing moments. You start chasing connection. You start chasing growth. And for me, the big one, you start chasing peace. And that's the real retirement upgrade that no one talks about. And so one more powerful part of the transformation is you begin to live with intention, not to impress anybody, not to climb that corporate ladder, not to do anything for anyone but you. You begin to savor, connect, and feel at peace with who you are and how you spend the time, because you have nothing to prove to anyone. You finally are giving yourself permission just to be you. Retirement really is the gift of time. The question, though, is what will you do with it? You don't need to change the world, but you can change your world. One choice, one moment, one adventure at a time. Again, I'm Maureen Dobransky. This is Life Starts at Retirement. Please consider liking, subscribe to this channel. Now go make your retirement remarkable, no matter what that means to you. See you next week.